The couple was shipwrecked and stranded on a deserted island, but the wife was attracted by the scenery of the island. She wanted to stay here with her husband, but her husband is a workaholic. He doesn't want to stay on this shitty island for a second, and he didn't want to live like a savage. After finding his way home, he took advantage of his wife's sleep. He tied her legs with a rope. Then he took the speedboat and left alone, because if he didn't go back, the company might go bankrupt. He'll send someone to pick up his wife when he gets back, but the wife mistook her husband for the secretary. She assured him that he would be sorry if he left. After hearing this, the husband didn't want to explain. He took off in his speedboat. The wife turned around calmly and took all the tools she could find, because she had already done something on the speedboat. The boat capsized before it got a meter out. At night, the wife found some branches, and with her knowledge, she made a writing arrow. Then she started to take revenge on her husband. The husband was looking for his wife, but he accidentally walked into a cave. Then he heard a cry. When he looked in the direction of the sound, he realized there were cannibals living on the island. He was shocked. He found his wife and told her the news, but when she heard the news, she didn't look at him. She shot an arrow before he could finish his sentence. The husband was instantly disgusted. He couldn't imagine that his wife really wanted to kill him. He was so scared that he ran away. But how could she let him go? She jumped from the tree. She shot an arrow at him. Luckily, there was no danger. The husband grabbed a branch and blocked the arrow. While his wife was pulling out the arrow, he was able to escape. After a night's rest, the husband went to the beach to repair the broken speedboat. Suddenly, an arrow was shot at him. It turned out that his wife had found him. He hid himself behind the boat. It seems that his wife doesn't care about him at all. She really wanted to kill him, but he just wanted to go back to work. After escaping, he hid in the forest. He tried not to let his wife find him. Suddenly, he heard voices talking not far away. He ran over to see what was going on. He saw two savages fishing. When they weren't looking, he stole one of the rafts, but unfortunately, the savages found him. He had no choice but to pick up the raft and run away from the shore. But then he saw his wife looking for food, so he grabbed a stick and tried to knock her out. Just as the husband was about to do it, the wife suddenly turned her head, but she didn't see him. Seeing that she didn't notice him, the husband raised the stick and knocked her out. But after hitting her, he regretted it. He rushed to check on his wife's condition, but he accidentally triggered a trap, instantly pulled into the air. Then the wife was awakened by her husband's cries for help. She realized that the person who knocked her out was her husband. The wife was furious. She picked up a stick on the ground and was ready to fight back, but then she suddenly heard a sound from the forest. Then she smiled at her husband. Then she dropped the stick and ran away. The husband then realized something was wrong. He started swinging his body from side to side. He finally got stuck on a vine. He was lucky to escape, but the wife is not so lucky, because the mad cannibals were chasing her. Soon the wife had no way out. Suddenly a hand pulled her closer to the cave. It turned out to be her husband. He told her to stay calm. Now is not the time for them to fight. They must find a way to leave the island as soon as possible. But as soon as he said that, the wife came at him with a weapon she had found. She threw the weapon at him. The husband started to run for his life, but the wife wouldn't let him go. She picked up a spear and chased after him. The husband hid behind the coffin, shivering. The wife began to question him. Why does he still keep in touch with his ex-girlfriend? Is she not considerate and gentle enough? The husband tried to explain, but as soon as he said it, he realized something was wrong. His position was exposed. In the next moment, the wife took a spear and pierced through the wood, but when she pulled out the spear, she accidentally fell. The skeleton in the coffin came into close contact with her. The husband couldn't help but laugh at her, but no sooner had he done so than he received a fatal blow. Then the husband and wife began to fight, but the husband couldn't bear to hurt his wife. Then he was hit with a combination of punches, and then a series of kicks on the ground, and finally, they raised a vat of water and smashed the husband to the ground. Seeing that the husband did not move for half a day, the wife was a bit panicked. She didn't expect her husband to be so unresistant, so she started to do first aid, but her husband still didn't react. Then the wife realized that she had hit him too hard. Then she cried out in frustration, but she couldn't help herself. She punched her husband again, but she woke him up. Finally, they stopped fighting. They decided to leave the island before dealing with their relationship, but before they could get out of the woods, they were hit by a poisoned arrow and fell unconscious. Then they were taken to a tribe of cannibals. The wife was tied to a stake and cremated, and the husbands were placed on rafts for water burial. Just as the raft was about to plunge down the river into the waterfall, the husband suddenly woke up. He looked around and grabbed a rock. That's how he survived. To save his wife, he braved the cannibal tribe. He used all his strength. He uprooted the stake holding his wife. This action stunned everyone present. Before the cannibals could react, the husband rushed to the edge of the cliff with the stake in his arms, and without hesitation, he jumped into the sea with his wife. After falling into the water, the two of them miraculously survived. But how could the cannibals stop? They threw their spears at them. Luckily, they were too far away and didn't hit them. The husband removed the stone knife from his spear and cut the rope to get his wife off the stake. Then they went back to shore. Vin found the raft that had been used for the water burial and escaped the horrors of this cannibalistic island. The couple was reunited and returned to their home.